Good afternoon, everyone. Sandra Moore, Avon, Independent Avon Sales Representative and Gold Ambassador. I looked at the weather yesterday and saw that it was going to be a beautiful day today and tomorrow with temperatures in the 70s. So I thought it would be a good time to do some customer and recruiting search for especially on the recruiting end. I am working towards a goal, an incentive that Avon set for us that I talked about in another video, and so I'm needing personal recruits. I get some recruits by people who just contact Avon wanting to become representatives, but I need recruits for my own, people I talk to personally who decide to start an Avon business, or I let them know in some way personally, which for the next 2 days I was planning to use my older brochures with my labels, got them all ready to go in their bags with my recruiting labels on the, well actually let me take one out of the bag. These are what we call our What's New bags, so they're door hanger types. And the plan was to do some walking, get some exercise, and enjoy the beautiful day walking door to door and just leaving these at the door. But what happened, you know how the best laid plans go awry? Before I was going to do that, I needed to finish mowing the grass. My husband had started it last night, and he push mows, and I ride if I can. The ride mower and my husband's back don't agree with each other. So when I mow, I use the riding mower, and he pushes, but he didn't get but half of the backyard done. And the front yard needed to be finished. Been done. The backyard needed to be finished. But when I jumped on that riding mower, the battery was so dead that even though I pushed it up on the patio, hooked up the charger, it wouldn't even show a charge. So I ended up doing all of that by push mowing, which is not my preferred way. But it wasn't too bad. Like I said, the weather was beautiful. It must have been low 70s. Still really nice. I'm looking outside right now, and it's beautiful out there. But once I'd done all of that, my legs are a little tired, so I might do a little bit of door-to-door as long as the day stays nice. But I'll probably be doing throws, which is why I have some books in these bags, and some are just, if I'm just going door to door, I don't need the bags. I can just lay the book there. And I've got my recruiting information inside with where they go to start their business. Start.youravon.com using my code SMOORE as the reference code, and that way they can join my team and I can mentor them. I mentioned in another video I did that I'm really needing money in my pocket, and getting some personal recruits will get some money in my pocket, but that's not the only reason for doing it. It's just a lot of fun to work with your team, to be a mentor to others and help them with their own businesses. After 30 years in the business, I've got a good bit of knowledge, and I also know the sources. Of course, Avon is changing all the time, but I know how to get the answers if I don't have them. So it's fun to teach other people how to do that and have them on your team and work with them and see them succeed. So that's another reason to be looking for the team members. But I thought, since I'm going to be doing throws, I would talk about that. We call them tossing or throws. Not all representatives do them, but a lot of the people who are actively looking for new representatives or new customers who want to build bigger businesses, and especially if they're doing Avon as their full-time job, this is a method that we use a good bit. So I thought I've shown you what I've got, and tossing or throwing is exactly what it sounds like. You're driving down a road. I don't go in places where it's no soliciting, and you're just tossing them out the window. You can do it out either side. and I have a lot of experience with tossing. I'm a good tosser. If you do it just right, you can sail that book out there and it will just drop instead of skidding across the driveway and scraping up the bag. I got a lot of experience at that. So I've been doing throws for 15, 16, 17 years or more. Not all the time, but especially in the times of the year when it's nicer weather and I can do some door-to-door and some throws. So that's my plan to do that, and I thought that I would talk about what you do if you're not an Avon representative doing throws. If you are the person living in the house where you find So the first thing you do is take it out of its bag, look at the labels, see what they say, see what that representative is trying to communicate with you. She is trying to show you different information of ways to access her. I'm sorry, it lost a connection. I thought I was fixing to have to move to another room, but it's come back. I don't think you had a long pause. I think you just lost me for a few minutes, a few seconds. Anyway, she will have on there, or he, could be a he, representative, something probably about ordering at the e-store, maybe a coupon code, which is, right now we've got welcome 10 for 10% off of your e-store order of any size. Or she just may have something about herself. It's all up to the representative. As representatives, we are independent and we can choose how we do our own businesses. So it could say different things. So look at those labels and just see what they say, so that you know why that book has appeared in your driveway. In fact, I've heard of some representatives who put a note or letter in with those books that say why this book is appearing in your driveway. Now, if you've looked at the labels, seen her forms of communication, the next thing you would want to do is look at the book and see if there's anything you want to order, unless you already have a representative. And if you already have a representative, I would suggest that you take that book and share it with one of your friends or a coworker. You may call the number on the book, if she's put her phone number there, and tell her that you already have a representative, and so she does not need to leave books at your address, and you want to give her your address. But in all likelihood, this is not going to be a repeat thing, you getting the book in the driveway, because most of us go out over different areas each time we're doing throws, and so you might not get another book in your driveway until 6 months or a year afterwards. So you don't really need to do much about that, unless you just want to tell her, I have a representative and I don't need the book, and I just thought I'd let you know so that you can save your money, because we do pay for the brochures. And pass it on to someone else. If you do not have a representative, look through the brochure, see what you'd like to order, and please order from that representative. If you don't like anything you see, you can either share the book with a friend or a coworker, which would be the best thing to do, or just go ahead and recycle that brochure. If you have recycling in your area, or toss it. We've tossed it to you. You can go ahead and toss it in the garbage if you definitely do not want the book and can't think of anybody you can share it with. I highly recommend placing an order and then sharing the book with someone else who might also like to place an order. Now, if that book appears in your driveway and you have absolutely no interest in Avon, perhaps you work for a competing company, you just don't want that book in your driveway, like I said, you're probably not going to get another one. You can just recycle it. You don't have to worry about it. Don't get upset about it. It's just, in all likelihood, a representative who is trying to help put food on the table for her family. When you look at this book, don't think of it as just some turkey who is trying to litter the landscape. Think of it as the representative behind the book. She's worked hard. She's worked hard to come up with something to go on that label, something to go on whatever information she gives you. She's paid for the book. She's considered carefully, do I want to even do throws? And maybe she's stepping out of her comfort zone to do them, because some people are just not comfortable with that at all. Maybe she's worried that she might get some ugly person calling her and saying, why did you throw that trash in my yard? Don't be that ugly person. She's just trying to make a living, trying to help her family. Maybe she's got a goal, a vacation, a car, something she's shooting for, and this is her way of helping her family earn extra money. Maybe she's preparing for retirement, which is what I'm doing right now. I've had different reasons for doing my business through the years. In the beginning, I was a young mother trying to make extra money to help out with the family. And through the years, it's been different. As my kids started college, I was making more money to help with the expenses of the kids. So whatever the reason, she's got a good reason that she is working this hard. And you should appreciate the fact that she is really trying to develop her business. Don't get upset about it. Don't think that you need to call Avon and report that somebody threw something in your yard or something like that. That rarely happens. I've even had once, years ago when I was doing throws, somebody called the county commissioner's office to tell them that I'd left a book at their house. The county commissioner's office called me and said, there was no law against me leaving the book there. Newspapers get thrown out when people subscribe to them all the time. So the thing to do is, if you definitely do not want that person to leave that book, call them and tell them nicely that you don't want the books, and she can put it down. We've had people call and say, I don't want the book, but I don't want to give you my address. So, it's like, well, how can I guarantee I won't give you a book again if you don't give me your address? But in all the years that I've been doing throws, I've tried to count up the number of times out of thousands and thousands of throws that I've done, that I've had somebody be ugly. And it was maybe 3 times. One was just really ugly, and I think she must have had a really, really bad day. I mean, as in a really super bad day. Because to be that ugly, you have to have had a very bad day. And Avon representatives who are doing throws, if somebody is just super ugly with you, you should feel sorry for them and pray for them, because what's happened is probably their day was just going awful, and they decided to unload on you, take it out on you, because there would be absolutely no reason to get that upset over a brochure being left at your house, either at your door or on your driveway. It's, pick it up, throw it away. Call them and say, don't leave them if you want to. Anyway, that's what I'm going to be doing. Heading out to do that in just a short while. First, I'm going to call my mom and my daddy, because I've been admiring the beautiful flowers around our yard that my husband puts out, and told my mom and dad, maybe you want to come out here and look at these before they're gone. My mama loves daylilies and does daylilies herself, and that's what's mainly blooming right now, are the daylilies. Before long, I'll be posting sunflowers, because Gary kind of got sunflower crazy this year. He's put out, he told me that there were maybe 10 different kinds out there. I said, you mean you ordered 10 different packages of sunflower seeds? And he said, yeah, he did. So I am really looking forward to seeing some of those sunflowers. They'll be blooming soon, and some of them, the plants are already above my head. So I don't know if I'll get very good pictures of those. I have to get on a ladder. But anyway, he enjoys his garden, and I'm looking forward to when he does retire and can spend more time and what we'll get to see in our yard. All right, have a great day. Enjoy it if the weather's as beautiful where you are as it is here.